guys, it's Julie. Kristen, thanks for having us here with Kristen Apicerno Interiors. And she was kind enough. Thank you so much for letting us come in your home.
Thank you for having me.
It's one of those that, I'm not sure, do I just want to hang out because it's so warm? And also could put a for sale sign up tomorrow, right?
No, I'm not going anywhere. Yeah. I'm here to stay. Sorry.
Yeah. But I mean, we talk about people decorating their homes, and there's two different sides to it. There's how you live in a home and how you want to have the design flair and represent your style. And then there's things we do from a staging perspective, right? So what's your best, for someone just looking to make it a home, what do you do when you talk to clients, and what's your, tips to achieving this feeling?
When I meet with clients, it's so funny. I get really personal with them. It's so funny the things that I end up asking them, because design isn't just what things look like. It's your experience in the space. It's what it feels like. And I like to design spaces that make you want to take your shoes off, hang out, stay a while, but that look really polished and aesthetically pleasing.
Like Lulu.
Like Lulu.
Right.
And she's the perfect accessory.
Yeah.
But I think that when it comes to design, it is about comfort, and it is about style, and it's also about livability.
Yeah.
And you have to really, it's like the three-legged stool. It has to check all of those boxes.
Yeah. So I guess when you go into a consultation for someone who says, hey, help me decorate my home, what do you start to focus on? What type of questions do you ask them to be prepared to showcase that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair question. I usually ask them what their priorities are, because there's always one or two rooms that are sort of like the thorn in their side.
Yep.
And the good news about interior stylists is we can help you just sort of for a couple of hours put the finishing touches on a room, or one of my services is designer for a day, where I will just hang with you all day long. We can shop for materials or do a room plan, or some people really need you to hold their hand through the entire process, and it's sort of I'm making furniture selections, room layouts, and then actually installing the furnishings. But there's always a priority. There's always a room that's the most important, and we usually start there.
Yeah, I think it's interesting you say, it could be a couple of hours, and I could call you to come in on a couple hours basis, or a big picture project, or maybe even new construction design, because I think a lot of times people hear interior decorating, interior design, and they may be intimidated by it.
Totally.
Thinking that you want to flip their house upside down when really you might just want to make their style pop a little bit or add functionality.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
It is the biggest misconception. Oh, she's going to come in here and only put the things in here that she likes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's going to, only shop at the Boston Design Center for furnishings. It's like, no, here's what I shop at Target too sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not like that at all. It's really, my job is to help you live better in your space and love where you're living, so that when you're home, everything you see and experience makes you happy.
I think I love how you said, because we use the phrase very often, you should love where you live, right? Mm-hmm. You're talking about sort of two different approaches, but the personality or the personal touch. So someone who's going to stay in a home, making sure your personality shines in a way that flows together, right? And then for someone who's selling, to say, this is my personality, but I'm going to show it in a way, thin it out, so that you can see your personality going there. And
it's two different objectives.
Yeah.
It's two different objectives. One is really personality forward. Those are the people who are staying in their home.
Yeah.
The second one is, like you said, a toned down version of that. Not so much the homeowner's personality, but more creating like a neutral blank canvas so that potential home buyers can see themselves in that space, and just giving them the breathing room to do that.
Yeah. So with that, if we were to just say the home overall, 3 tips.
Yeah.
Knee jerk to.
First of all, let in the light, people. Yeah. Let in the light. So take down any heavy draperies that you have. Home buyers, they want light, bright, and airy. If I had a dime for every time I hear that, but that's what they want. So take down those heavy draperies. Yeah. Either clean the windows on the inside and outside, including the screens, yourself, or pay the couple $100 and have it done professionally. But you would not believe how much light comes in a window when it's clean.
Yeah.
And also light bulbs. Go through your house. Make sure all of your light bulbs are working. And please take away those cold LED lights. And if you do want to go LED, use a soft or warm LED light instead.
And all matching. You go in, all the light bulbs are different colors. Yeah, it's like a psychedelic.
All matching.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that's related to light that also lends an environment to be light, bright, and airy is plants. Bring in live plants. And if you have faux plants, shower them down and dust them off. But I always prefer live plants over faux any day. But that kind of goes hand in hand with light.
Okay. So, heart of the home, right? Everybody loves the kitchen. If you give 3 tips on opening up, I should say opening up, I don't want to take your words. Staging your kitchen, preparing. How do we help show this place off?
First thing is totally free, which is clean it.
Yeah.
So literally take everything off your counters, take all of the appliances that you don't use, clean it all out so that potential home buyers can see the maximum amount of space that your kitchen has to offer.
For storage, for cooking surfaces, for entertaining.
That's
You're not going to go wrong no matter how someone's using it. Everyone's using the kitchen.
You're not going to go wrong.
Yeah.
The second thing is a lot of home sellers will have outdated cabinetry.
Yeah.
And while I would not recommend painting cabinetry to a typical client, I would if it's a quick fix. Because what that will do is it will help you sell at a higher value.
Yep.
And also it'll actually take some stress off the home buyer because it'll buy them a little bit more time before they have to take everything out and maybe replace cabinetry. Right. So everybody kind of wins. It's not a long-term solution though because typically painting will chip and dent over time.
Right.
So, but I think
people can tell that, but it's still better than...
Oh, for sure.
The dated, dark.
For sure. Whatever. And change out the decorative hardware. Change out things like fixtures or pendant lighting. I mean, those are things that just are not a lot of money, but can really elevate the space so quickly.
Yeah. So, we talk about, you get one shot of first impression. That curb appeal is the only, right? And that's not even people walking up and you're knowing they're looking at your house. That's the slow drive-bys as you're starting. Now, again, we talk about it from a selling lens, but just people riding around the neighborhood, the impression you want to give. The home is typically your staple, right? Your personality coming out. So if you were to say 3 tips for your curb appeal, what would you say?
It's just like when you're going out into the world. Like, if I walked out of my house with, like, hair looking like a rat's nest and didn't brush my teeth and, like, wore sweatpants, people will go, ooh, girl,
first impression.
I can only imagine what your house looks like.
Exactly.
It's the same thing with curb appeal. I mean, it doesn't have to break the bank. What does it take to actually walk up your front walk and look at it with a critical eye?
Yeah.
Notice, is my concrete cracked? Are there planks in my front stairs that need to be replaced? Are my lighting sconces from 1972? Maybe they could use an upgrade. And are there light bulbs in them?
Right.
Put a fresh coat of paint on the front door. Buy a new welcome mat. Put a beautiful wreath up. I mean, it doesn't take a lot. But it just shows that some effort was put in, and it's a little sneak peek into what a buyer may find when they actually walk through your door.
Going. Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is really valuing the benefit of curb appeal, right? And respecting
huge.
What it is. And we always say, make it project list. If you've got weeds overgrown, right? Or you've got, Christmas lights still out and it's July. Just the common sense that says when you pull up, you should want more. Because you're so impressed with the outside.
You're just like whetting their appetite, I feel like. And you have to really, first impressions matter. And the way your home looks from the exterior, you don't stand a chance if it doesn't look good.
Right. Kristen, I think the best thing about talking to you today is, like I said, I look at it often with a lens, right, of putting a for sale sign up. But oftentimes clients call me and they say, okay, now we came and it's empty. It doesn't look like when we bought it, and they just want to make it home. And so I really value your insight as to understanding what the goal is for what someone to call and how big or small that project may want to be. So grateful to have you as a resource, and certainly one that I know I'm happy to share with clients, whether they're moving or not. What's their approach, and how can they make their home really showcase what they want on the budget they want to.
Totally.
Right? So it becomes personal, and you would be their guide.
I mean, I think that on my first initial meetings with clients, I just do a lot of listening and asking questions.
Yeah.
And I think that really, if you start with that, on that foundation, that the project tends to go really smoothly.
Yeah.
And I think that I want to always give clients what they want, but also what they need.
Yeah.
And do it in an elevated way. And sometimes people need a little bit of help, and sometimes people need
Yeah.
a lot. And I can, either way.
Be the resource on terms that they mutually identify with you.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much for not only taking the time, but letting us into your beautiful home and letting us meet Lulu the dog. And one thing I took is I'm buying fancy rug pads, because every carpet of yours I step on is like a little foot heaven.
I'm telling you, so much of design is what you actually don't see.
Yeah.
And you can take a really inexpensive rug and add a really amazing rug pad to it, and all of a sudden...
And the functionality is phenomenal. So I'll be back
That's
later.
why we're here.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Great meeting you.